Well, hello today. We're going to talk a little bit about adding and subtracting mixed measures. Now, by mixed measures, we mean a measurement that includes different units from the same category, such as inches, feet, yards, and miles, seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, etc., etc. Okay, to add mixed measures, we align the numbers in order, and then we add the units that are the same. We might have to simplify, and that's kind of one of the things that people get confused on. Here's a simple one that we can do to start with. First, I'm going to add, and I want to add 2 yards, 1 feet 3 inches, to 1 yard, 3 feet 10 inches. Now you can try to do this in your head, but you're inevitably going to miss something, and so that's why we set it up this way. We have 10 inches plus 3 inches, that makes 13 inches. We're just going to go straight across to start with. 3 feet plus 1 feet makes 4 feet. And 2 yards and 1 yard make 3 yards. That'd be all fine and dandy, but we need to simplify it. So if we have more inches than a foot, then I want to carry the foot over. For instance, 13 inches is 1 inch more than a foot. 1 foot is 12 inches. So I'm going to take 12 away from this 13. That's a foot. I'm going to move that foot over here. So this becomes 13 minus 12, which is 1 inch. Now, instead of 4 feet, I add here, I now have 5 feet. Well, 5 feet is way more than a yard because a yard is 3 feet. So, I'm going to take 3 feet away from here, and I will put it up here, okay? And so 3 from 5 is 2 feet, and that's not more than a yard, so I'm good there. And 3 yards plus 1 yard makes 4 yards. So, the final number is 4 yards, 2 feet, and 1 inch. Now, let's look at a subtraction problem that's similar, same numbers, only this time we're going to go in the other direction. Okay, we have 10 inches from 3 inches, that can't happen. So, we go over here and we borrow. When we borrow from here, we leave no feet, but we bring over 12 inches. 12 plus 3 is, that's right, it is 15. So now we have 15 inches. 15 minus 10 is 5 inches. Now we want to take 3 feet from 0 feet. That can't happen. So we go over here and we borrow 1 yard, which is 3 feet. We add 3 feet to those feet, and we now have 3 feet. 3 from 3 is 0 feet. 1 yard from 1 yard is 0 yard. And so if we take 2 yards, 1 foot, 3 inches, and we subtract 1 yard, 3 feet, 10 inches, we end up with 5 inches. Okay, let's take a look at another example. We have 1 yard, 2 feet, 7 inches, and we want to add 2 yards, 2 feet, 8 inches. Very similar to the other one. 7 plus 8 is 15 inches. 2 yards plus 2 yards is, or 2 feet plus 2 feet is 4 feet. 2 yards plus 1 yard is 3 yards. Now we're a little over on the inches and the feet. So we subtract 12 from here. That leaves us with 3 inches. We bring a foot over here because 12 inches is 1 foot. 4 plus 1 is 5 foot. But then that's more than a yard, so we subtract 3 feet from the 5. We're left with 2 feet. But that means we have to carry a yard over here, and we end up with 4 yards. So our answer, 4 yards, 2 feet, and 3 inches. You have to practice this for a while to get really good at it. I remember when I first started doing it, it was like, wow, that seems like it's really hard. But it isn't as hard as it seems. You just have to kind of practice it for a while. And you have to remember how many feet in a yard and how many inches in a foot. Now, this one has to do with hours, minutes, and seconds. Remember, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so we have adding over here. Make sure you notice what you're doing. You have 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8, 85 seconds. You have 4 plus 4 is 85 minutes. And you have 3 hours. Okay? Alright, well, too many seconds. We got to do something about the seconds. 60 seconds makes a minute. So let's take 60 away from that. That leaves us with 25 seconds. Carry a minute over here. Now we have 86 minutes. Actually, we should probably put the one there rather than there, otherwise we'll get confused. Now, 60 minutes makes an hour, so 86 minus 60 leaves us with 26 minutes. But we have to carry the hour over here, so now we have 4 hours, 26 minutes, and 25 seconds. Now, let's do a subtraction one. Well, it's the same way as the first one I showed you. We have 5 days, 10 hours, 15 minutes, minus 1 day, 15 hours, 40 minutes. Can't take 40 from 15, so we're going to borrow. This becomes 9 hours. And we're going to bring it 60 minutes over here. So 60 plus 15 is 75. 40 from 75 is 35 minutes. And that's not over an hour, so we're good. We can't take 15 from 9. So we go over here and we borrow. This becomes 4 days rather than 3. And this becomes 24 plus 9, because we just borrowed a day, which is 24 hours. So 24 plus 9 is 33. Be sure you cross out what you're no longer using so you don't get confused. Now, if we take 33 and we subtract 15 from it, we end up with 18. So we have 18 hours. And if we take 4 days minus 1 day, we end up with 3 days. And usually the subtraction ones are kind of nice. Most of the time you end up not having to do too many extra conversions after that. Okay, let's look at another one. Now this one is different because there's nothing in the middle here, and it's a subtraction problem. So you know already you're going to have to borrow. Okay? So 7 won't go for 3. 1 doesn't go from nothing. So you go clear over here. So 4 yards becomes 3 yards. And no feet becomes 3 feet. And then you'll have to borrow a foot. So that automatically goes down to 2 feet. And this 3 inches becomes 12 plus 3, which is 15 inches. Wow. Now you might want to rewind this video and go back and watch it again so that you can follow everything, because it is a little confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. So 15 minus 7 is 8 inches. 2 minus 1 is 1 foot. And 3 minus 2 is 1 yard. So there's your answer. Okay? I definitely would suggest that if this confuses you, that you go back and listen to it again. Okay? Do a couple more examples. This one, you have 8 yards, 1 foot, 5 inches, 3 yards, 2 foot, 7 inches. It is another subtraction problem. Don't have enough here. We borrow from here. This becomes 0 feet, but this becomes 12 plus 5, which is 17 inches. 7 from 17 leaves you with 10 inches. Alright, we got 2 from 0. That's not going to work. So we go over here, we make this 7 yards instead of 8, and we bring over 3 feet because 3 feet are in 1 yard. So now we have 3 minus 2, which is 1 foot. And 7 minus 3 leaves you with 4 yards. Looks pretty good. That is your answer. All of them are appropriate. Okay, here is one more. We have 3 hours. We don't know minutes. And 3 seconds. So let's see, we can't take 55 from 3, so we'll go clear over here. 3 hours becomes 2 hours. This becomes 60 minutes because we borrowed over here. We're going to take away 1 minute from the 60, make it 59. So this becomes 60 plus the 3, which is 63 seconds. Okay? So 55 to 63 leaves you with 8 seconds. Okay, then you take 59 minus 15. Doesn't hurt to do the paperwork over here. 9 minus 5 is 4, 5 minus 1 is 4. Hate to make a mistake subtracting and then miss the problem. Then you have 44 minutes, and then 2 minus 1 is 1 hour. So your answer, 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 8 seconds. Now, this is a challenge problem. And rather than me answering it here online for you or on YouTube, I challenge you. You work this problem, bring it to me after you've worked it. At the end of the video, bring it up to me, and if you get it right, you will get 10 points bonus. So, write the problem down, work it, be sure you're right, and when you come up to show me your notes, show me this problem and say, Mrs. Borgelt, I did the challenge problem. Is this the right answer? And if it is, I will give you 10 points bonus. I hope this has been helpful. If you have questions, please be sure to ask me in class, and have a great day.